Again, thank you everyone for joining us. Appreciate it. Welcome to Children's Ministry. And well, I was about to say we have one of the most learned trainer on our platform this morning, but I'm going to leave that to Glory right after the prayer. Father, we thank you again, dear Lord, for your leading in our lives. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to serve in your ministry. We ask, oh God, that as we serve, that we depend solely on your Holy Spirit, that we submit ourselves to your leading. Help us, dear Father, to seek to be servants, to one that who not only to give people direction, but to submit ourselves to the best possible way in which we can humble and serve others. Thank you for each one that is here this morning. And we ask that we will be blessed by this presentation. In Jesus' name, amen and amen.
Amen. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This morning, like Pastor Teddy said, we have Robin Galgan from, and I hope I pronounced your last name correctly.
That's right.
Thank you. She is one of the trainers for the North American Division Children's Ministries Department. And she is from Brazil. And she has always been involved in children's ministry. She loves Sabbath school, youth leadership, but she has a passion for music as well. Robin lives in Maryland. She has 2 children, and she has a college degree in journalism and marketing and a master's in international management from the University of Maryland. She's fluent in English, Portuguese, and Spanish. So Robin, thank you so much for making time this morning to join our leaders here in the Southern New England. I am hoping that we can have you here at some point in person, right? So you can help us with our Portuguese speaking community.
Of course.
Yes, so the floor is now yours. Please, family, feel free to ask questions and, get all the tools that you will need to make sure that children's ministries at your churches are going to be successful throughout this year. If anybody has questions, I'm going to post my number in the chat and I'm going to step out. So anybody can text me or reach me if you guys need me, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you for your kind words. Good morning, everyone. I am very excited to be here with you today. And we are gonna cover 2 of my favorite subjects. As she mentioned, I am passionate about Sabbath school, and
I'm sorry to interrupt, Glory, Robin. Glory, before you go, can you make Robin a co-host just in case she needs to share screen, please?
Oh, I will certainly share this screen.
Yes, I'm just trying to find who's the host. Here. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to make sure you have it.
Please do.
I'm not seeing the host, Glory. Do you know?
Let me see if I can share. Let's see if
I don't think you try that, see if you'll be able to share.
Let me see. We are going to start with Sabbath school, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Can you see it?
Not yet, no.
No?
But you should be able to share because I can share and the host is not on me, so.
Well, that's what I'm doing, but it's not letting me. Hold on. Let me see. Basic share.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good now.
Okay, cool.
I appreciate
If it doesn't change, because sometimes I don't know if because my laptop is too old, it doesn't change. Let me know, okay?
No, you're good. You're doing good.
Yeah, I'm not a very high-tech person. Barbara will help me with the chats while I talk. So any questions or anything, I will leave a few minutes at the end so we can talk about things or maybe concerns you have or things you want to share. And because I think the most valuable thing in training is exchanging of experiences. We always can learn with each other, and why not share? We don't compete with one another. We all have a common goal, a common objective, that is to bring our children closer to Jesus, right? So as I was saying before, these are two of my favorite topics. I also like other subjects, but these I have a special passion. I am a fourth generation Adventist. My grandfather was a pastor, and he was the president of a union, União Sul Brasileira is called in Brazil. And he raised me, so I am a pastor child, if you will. And I always worked heavily in church. I grew up participating in different activities and different things in Brazil. I grew up in Brazil, but as a matter of fact, part of my charm is that I'm an American with an accent, because I was born here. Then I went to Brazil when I was 2 years old, and I just came back after adulthood. So, you know, the Brazilian culture and the accent stayed with me.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, they're open to share, so she can share, so that's good. I mean, I just hope nothing that anybody drops off or anything. Oops. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was unmuted. I am so apologize.
Okay, anyways. So why they are my two favorite topics? Because Sabbath school is something I always participate, and also management and administration is my professional background. I worked for 12 years at the World Bank. So my intellectual or academic and professional background resides on management. So let's start with the teaching Sabbath school. So what is our objective today? What do we want to learn? We want to learn ways to make Sabbath school. I don't read slides, so you can follow my slides, but I go more on my mind. The slides are just a guideline for you on the things that I aim to cover, you know. So I'm trying to minimize this window. Okay. So we are gonna talk about how you make Sabbath school cool. How do you make kids excited that they cannot wait until next Sabbath comes? Because if you stop and think, we have heavy competition. The enemy is like really armed with everything possible and imaginable to pull our kids away from anything related to religion, family, values, respect to authority. These are things that, unfortunately, I don't know if you agree with me, that's my personal opinion, it's fading in society. And you see how kids are really lost on who they are, who with this transgender thing and LGBTQ. There are people that have issues and problems, but I think the number is much higher than should be because of lack of teaching from parents, really, if you stop and think about it. They spend a lot of time on gadgets. There is not like family. Unfortunately, there are some research that state that 86% of our families, Adventist families, don't do family worship. And I'm telling you, I still remember my worship time with my family. We used to do in the morning before we leave the house, and then at night. And after that, we would have our time separately, just our relation with God. So study the Sabbath school lesson, the quarterly, or doing the Bible annual reading. Whatever you did was your moment with God alone. And unfortunately, that is not a reality in our families nowadays. So as leaders, we have a huge responsibility in attracting our children to our Sabbath school, right? We need to identify our audience. Kids are different. They learn in different ways. So we need to really focus on knowing the families, the background of our children, and also their learning process. So we can incorporate in the program all the senses and all the ways children learn, and also cover all the temperaments. It sounds more complicated than really is. I tell you in advance, when God chooses you to do something, He will equip you with whatever you need. Just pray. Remember Moses, he didn't want to do what God told him to do, take the people out of Egypt, right? Noah, 120 years to build an ark without rain, people teasing him, bullying him. What about Joseph? Joseph was arrested. He stayed in prison for so many years. What about Jonah? He didn't want to do what God told him to do, right? So a lot of times we feel discouraged and we don't think that we have what it takes. I think we are too hard on us, and we need to build a little bit our faith and trust in God that if he chose us, he has his reasons, he has his plans. Just let the Holy Spirit lead. Trust me, I lived it, I've seen it. It's gonna happen if it's not already happening in your life. So you need to make sure, if you are leading, how you are gonna put the program together, how you are gonna lead, and how you are gonna get it done, right? That's very, very important. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Can we say this together, please? Train up
a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Proverbs 22:6. Solomon is so wise. Tell me about it. I love what he writes. Now, I need everybody to get ready. We are going to play a little quick game, okay? And Barbara, if you can please let me know the winner. I will let Glormar know that she needs to give a prize to the champion, okay?
Okay.
So your task now is get all these objects. You have, I'm giving you 5 minutes, but whoever finishes first will be the winner. So here you have the list of things to get in your house and bring to us and share with us. Time, set, go.
Okay. So I am in the church, so I won't be able to do this. I'm at the church.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I will give you a consolation prize. Okay, I'm timing you guys, okay? Let's see who can get everything. The furry friend doesn't need to be real, okay, guys? Somebody's asking about the slides from the presentations.
It was already, somebody already sent it to her. So I just tell her it was already sent.
Okay. Because I can make handouts if you want. Normally when I do.
Oh, no. Okay. The slides are different. The link, somebody's in the wrong chat.
Okay.
Wrong group, Zoom.
Okay, so I'm not gonna worry about this, Barbara. I'm trusting you.
Yes.
I don't know if guys, the people are excited with this, how things are going.
Nobody has posted anything as yet.
This is excited and a workout because I'm running all over the house trying to find
that's awesome. Hey, I had to come up with something to do online, you know. Normally my activities are in class, so I'm like, what am I gonna do?
John is asking if you will get the slides.
I can send the slides to Gloria Mar. I can do if you. I will do a handout and send to her. She has everybody's email, right?
I think so. She does. She should.
Okay. Make sure you all give her your emails and then she can send the handouts, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we have 1 minute left, guys.
Oh, wow, this was a workout. I'm done.
Good.
And who is that?
This is Abiola Harris. Hi.
Okay. Did you get all of the items?
Except for a vinyl record. Don't have one of those in the house now.
Okay, she was the first one to finish. Let's see
Yeah.
if somebody gets every single item. Let's see if they are gonna do.
Okay, I am finished, but I do not have any old technology or the vinyl record, so I cannot complete the the chart.
Let's see who did what. How many people did different things? So let's see what happened. So
So Kamala and Abiola.
so they finished, right?
Yes,
Time
except
is up, guys. Time is up.
Mhm.
So who was able to get everything?
They didn't get one thing, both of them.
Both of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they both get a prize, okay?
Okay.
So do you want to share with everybody?
Thank you. Sure. Oh, time's up. My husband found a vinyl record, but time's up.
Oh, okay.
So I have my, if you guys can see me, serial
Out of
Captain.
focus.
Oh, let me take
Yeah.
you, let me unfocus.
Oh, okay, cool.
Captain Crunch,
Okay.
cereal box, toothpaste, toothbrush, winter coat, raincoat,
Okay.
furry animal, stuffed teddy, striped shirt,
Wow, okay.
salt shaker.
You're on a mission, girl.
Yes, I was working out. Thank you. I needed a workout this morning.
Nadia just said she got everything.
Family photo.
Cool.
Maybe.
My favorite Giants hat. My scarf.
Just the team is wrong. The hat, I don't know if I'm gonna consider it's the wrong team. Go Patriots!
I'm in New England, so I'm not really raining for the Patriots.
Well, you know what? I was Tom Brady, to be honest with you. After he left, I really don't care.
Yes, I support them when they were doing good, but I'm a Giants fan overall. And I have PSP, my old technology.
That's all
and
cool.
My favorite book that my son loved is Snuggle Prayer. Snuggle
That's
Up Prayer.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, who else got the stuff?
Okay, so Melia and Ken got everything.
Okay, give to them. Whoever got everything, like give to all these people. Just write their names down, and then they will get a prize.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. At least to put some action, right? Let me put my presentation back. Hold on. Okay. So now that we all wake up and all that, how do we do? Hold on a second, because I'm out of place here. This is not moving and I don't know why. Okay. The computer is so slow. Let me see if it moves here. It's not going, I don't know why. Okay. How to do this? What do you need to do this? What do you need to put together to make it happen, if you will? I know I'm not looking at the camera, but I'm looking at you on my screen, so it's kind of weird, but you know, bear with me if it's okay. So you need, first of all, good leadership, right? You need somebody that can be clear, direct, and objective, and really help you to make things happen. You need to recruit the right people. You need to have the ability to recognize people's skills and put a good team together in which you can do a good and a strong program using their strengths. Also focus on developing their weaknesses too. As time passes by, and then you get more acquainted and you get more comfortable working together. Try to pull them a little bit out of the comfortable zone and give new challenges for them to develop. People always like to grow on whatever they are doing. And as a human nature, we always want new things, because if we always do the same thing, it's kind of boring. So being active and having new challenges always excite people to do more. Of course, taking consideration the different personalities. And if it's type A or type B, you know how it goes. The type B, it's more one function at a time. The type A, it's all over everything at the same time. So you have to identify if the people you work with is type A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know, and adjust accordingly. You have to have a good coordinator, exactly because what I just said, to distribute accordingly, and so people don't get frustrated. It's important also to have the materials you will need. Like if you need a laptop to put on the screen songs so the kids can sing with movement, or you want to show up instead of teaching and telling the Sabbath school lesson, you want to show a movie that teaches that. The lighting is very important. You want something that they are not gonna sleep. It's not too bright, it's not too dark, but it's appropriate for the size of the room that you have, and the age of the kids as well. Security is very important. As a matter of fact, the conference provides the website. It's for free before it's called Verify. I don't know how, if it's still called Verify, if I'm not mistaken. It's to train our leaders what to look for security. I give you an example. Yes. If somebody wants to take a child, if a child wants to go to the bathroom, for example, to the restroom, never take by yourself, always taking two, always have a witness. Also this course give some tips on how to recognize if the child it's being abused or having some kind of problems, that you always have red flags that can point. It's a very interesting course, and everybody should take. As a matter of fact, it is a requirement for our leaders to take this course because it's very informative. You can take it online, and as I said, it's free, but it has to be through your conference. Our decoration is super important. I'm gonna tell you, My cousin is the junior teacher in New Jersey. And the kids were so down with the class and Sabbath school, you know, when there's like, oh, I'm here because my parents are forcing me to be here. So I told her, I said, I went one Sabbath to visit her, and I said, let's have a meeting with these children and see what they want in their Sabbath school. Of course, they are older, but with the younger kids, you don't have too much. You have to look for other avenues. I'm using this as an example, okay? So we sat with them, oh, you know, we want to do, this is your space in church. And they got so excited. And they put lights, one parent donated, all donations, okay? Didn't even ask for the budget of the church. They put like hanging lights, like Christmas lights, and they are going to buy these little poofs that has little foam balls inside. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. They are gonna put there, very simple, but it's their space. It changed. They cannot wait to come during on Sabbath. They start talking to each other. Oh, let's do this, let's do that. Then I told my teacher, my cousin, give them assignments during the week, like 5-minute assignments that they don't even need the parents to help. So the first assignment I gave to them is like that they for them to bring in the next Sabbath school, one sentence, one interesting fact about where our offerings are going for the trimester, for the quarter. And they were all excited. They call my cousin during the week. Oh, you know, how big, how much can I write? And they got so into it. Simple thing, but they felt accepted. They felt that they belonged because, folks, let's face it, there are not too many children that really value churches that really value children's ministry. A lot of churches don't even have it. A lot of churches just include the children's ministry into their family ministry, or they don't even have it. Some parents get together and sit in chairs and tell stories and sing songs to the children. That's very sad. We need to, as leaders, to start selling our ideas for children's ministry, you know, but this is for the next class. The program structure is very important. Why? Because what I said earlier, we have different types of personalities, we have different temperaments. So it's very important to mix high activity blocks with low, not so intensive activities. So you don't want them hanging out of the chandelier, but you don't want them sitting on the floor boring to death. And you know, children have a very short span attention. So that's why, and I keep pounding on it, it's very important that you know your children. So you know how to fit their needs. It's very important to do the program for the children. We are not leading children's ministry to impress the parents. We don't need to be perfect. You know why? Because kids, especially in today's world, they are eager, desperate for attention. Simple, the simplest, the better. My church has a very, has a lot of money. The budget for children's ministry, it's very good. And as a matter of fact, we have every Sabbath, we have children's church. We have over 100 children for children's church every Sabbath. And then at one point, my best friend was leading the children's church. And I noticed they spend a lot of money on crafts for the children and so on. So I start talking to the children. Oh, you know, that's very nice what you did today. What is this? Oh, this is a rainbow. You probably did this craft already. They use a plastic paper plate, and then they have the rainbow, and you put the cotton for the cloud, and to teach Noah's story. It's a very common craft, but they put glitter, they go beyond the border because they have money for it. I said, oh, what did you learn? Nothing, it's just school. Be careful with that. Keep in mind that children, when you give them gifts, they spend more time with the box than with the gift itself, And I told my friend, because since I felt comfortable to talk to her, I'm like, they are not living with a message. You need to twist your program a little bit to make sure that they leave your place. Doesn't matter if it's Sabbath school, children's church, whatever activity you have with the children, that they get the message. And I still remember things I learned on my Sabbath school when I was a child. That's what we want as leaders. We don't need to spend tons of money with children. We need to be creative. We need to stay on the message. And everything you do, you stay focused on what you want your children to learn. Tell you another story. I taught a class on the multiplication of the fishes and the bread. And this 3 or 4 year old boy was like fascinated, you know. So I used the goldfish, and then I used the Cheez-It so they could have the snack, and then learn what Jesus did. So the following week, the boy's mother came and said, Robin, what did you do last week? And I'm like, what do you mean? She said, the only thing my son did this week was eating goldfish and Cheez-It. And everybody came to the house, no, you need to eat. And he told the story, and he was telling everybody about the goldfish and the Cheez-It. It's okay. It's goldfish and Cheez-It. But he got a message. He learned about what Jesus did, that he fed the crowd that was there to listen to him. Simple, cheap, but that impacted the child. Of course, you have to do things accordingly to the age range of the children you work with. Just, you know. Also, if you have a lot of children, because some people tell me that one of the problems they have is to get help. Nobody wants to commit, nobody wants to be there every Saturday, and you know, they want to feel free to do whatever they want. Well, I tell you, rotate, find people, put a signing up sheet, and make them come once a month, or I don't know, depending on the size of the church, obviously. But you know, ask the parents to come and help. You are going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because at the same time, the child will be proud to see the parent. They are participating in something that he is involved, the child is involved. You know, the parent will take the burden out of your shoulders to find somebody to help. You will have somebody to help. So that's a very good option, in my opinion. Another thing is use social media. In my time, we didn't have the phone, the text message, you know, all the technology we have in today's world. You don't even need to call anybody. You can just text if you don't want to talk to people. But take advantage of the technology that is available, because it can save you time in a lot of things. Just some suggestions. So what are the roles in the Sabbath school? You have the leader, you have the teacher, right? And then, but some of their responsibilities in reality overlap. So the leader is the one that should give the guidance for what is expected, make sure that he or she knows what you will need to make things happen. Very important as a leader to listen, because a lot of leaders, one problem that I see, not only on leaders, but stop and think of the majority of people, we don't listen. As soon as the other person starts talking, we are already formulating our reply. We need to learn to listen. You know where I learned to listen? With my children, believe or not. Because sometimes we have an opinion and we have one idea that doesn't even, it's close to what the other person is trying to say. So it's very important to be unbiased and really listen and understand what the person is trying to say. Also, a lot of times some people do talk with subliminal messages, so you have to be careful on how to interpret. And if you really don't understand, be like very open to say, you are trying to tell me this, and you repeat back to the person to make sure you got exactly what the person is trying to say. We need to have a budget. We are going to talk a little bit more about that on the next class, because you can be as economic as you can, but you need money to run things, you need materials, you need, different things that to provide to the children and to really entertain and have a good program. You have to attend boarding meetings, see what they have to say, and make sure that your team, the Sabbath school leaders and teachers, understand what is expected from the church overhead. That's very important, have a good relation with them. And you have to screen your volunteers. You need to really make them feel accepted, that they are really enjoying what they are doing. You need to listen their suggestions. More heads work better than one. The same cousin that I mentioned to you earlier that does the junior Sabbath school in New Jersey, she was telling me that her children's ministry director told her that they want to make a class to prepare the older kids for baptism. So my cousin got all excited and talked to me. And we have a friend that's Francine. We always work together. We are the only ones that speak Portuguese. Somebody mentioned about giving seminars in Portuguese. We always give Francine and I. She developed this program. She designed this program about the 28 fundamentals that it's out of this world. It's excellent. And I said, I'm going to talk to Francine and then, make sure that you get it so you can teach the kids in a fun way, but they will grasp all the concepts needed to be baptized, right? The children's ministry director came to her and said, thank you, but no, thank you. I have everything the way I want. It will be the way I want to be done. You just have to do what I told you to do, what I tell you to do. Okay, you can have your own program and do the way you want, but there are ways to say that to people. You don't need to be a dictator. You can be a moderator, and you really can sell your ideas and do whatever you want as the head of the department, if you will, or the division of the church, but in a more soft way, because people have feelings and they are all our volunteers if you stop and think about it. So please make sure that they don't feel rejected or that whatever they do or they think it's not important, because this can affect the overflow of things to happen. Does it make sense? So the teacher have to know the kids. As I told you before, and then adjust the program accordingly. It doesn't matter because you put a structure of the program to start with, you cannot make adjustments because things change, kids are growing, they might change, so you might have to adjust here and there. That's why it's so important to always talk to whoever helps you, because 2 people or 3 people observe better than 1 person, because if you are teaching, you might miss some stuff because you were focusing on teaching and making sure they grasp the concept. You need to have a cozy and fun environment. Doesn't matter what you do, just be cool. These kids are looking up to you. You are an example to them. Be careful when you are in the corridor talking to other adults. They are listening to you. They are sponges. They are sucking everything they can from you. So we have to be very careful because, we are responsible in part because of what we do, how we act. We are the ones setting the examples, and let's face it, some kids have so many problems at home that maybe the only safe harbor they have is our classroom. We are competing with public schools See, when I was growing up, all my friends were from school. We all went to Seventh-day Adventist schools. All my friends still are Adventists. This is not the reality we live today in this country. Most of our children, or a lot of, I should say, of our children go to public schools. From 8 to 3:30, they don't have any Christian education. Some families don't even, these kids that my cousin teach, okay? Sorry, I'm using her as an example because I think it's important to share this kind of stuff. They don't know what Old Testament is. They don't know what New Testament is. They didn't know how many books in the Bible. They are juniors, they should know. Now my cousin is working with them to memorize all the books. The church doesn't have Pathfinders, doesn't have Adventures. So, you know, what I'm saying is we have 1 hour a week. We need to be wise in what to teach our kids. What do we want them to leave our Sabbath school with? That's the most important thing, because, you know, in the future, this can make a huge difference in their choices. Trust me on that. We are not going to see the result of our work now. Years ahead of us will tell us, or will show us the result of what we are doing. We are planting a seed now. But when they grow, we will see the results. And that's what God wants from us. And then the relation, their functions overlap because they both have to relate to children, connect with parents. That's very important. Engage on the program. As they grow, involve children in the program. Make them be part of it. Some churches don't even have like the end of Sabbath that the classes go, or the kids go in the pulpit and present, sing a song or do a memory verse, so have different parts on it. It's very important for the children to be part of the adult church, to feel that they belong, that they are part of everything. They are not like just isolated so adults can listen to the messages in peace. You know, that's not the function of church. Church should integrate us despite our age. That's very important to keep in mind. Always look for improvement. Feedback is what it's going to help you to improve and make things better. Even negative feedback, you can take it positively and turn into something that will improve whatever needs to be fixed. And communication, open communication, unbiased communication. Never take comments personal. If you take personal, it's not going to work, because people say things they don't think what they are saying. So be sure of who you are, be sure of what your mission is, and keep going. Take it what people say, but never take personal, because that will help you to keep focus on the real mission of our call, what really God expects from us, from you and from me. Well, you are familiar with the Grace Link. It's our curriculum in which they have 4 dynamics or 4 bases incorporated in their curriculums, right? So imagine a compass, this thing in the middle. Oops, I am so sorry. So the first fundament, it's grace, in which we convey to children that Jesus loves them. Worship teaches kids to love Jesus. That's how you worship Jesus to show your love to Jesus. Then you go to the community and we love each other. Well, most of the churches do this in the classroom, not with the church overall. We need to work on that, because as I said, they need to feel that they are part of something, their class, but also the church world, you know. The end service, when they reach out to the community, where we love others like Jesus loved us. So these are basically, you are familiar with that. The North American division, it's changing the curriculum, but will be the new curriculum. We will provide training when it's approved and come out. But for now, we are all using the Grace Link Net. You can find, you probably know, but I just included it as an information piece. Gracelink.net has all the quarterlies, has PowerPoint presentations. They suggest activities that you can have with the children. It's a very helpful website that can incorporate to whatever material you have as a teacher and as a leader. I'm almost done, so we can have questions, okay? What are the elements that you have in Sabbath school? You can do worship, you can if they think that God is not listening, that they are not important because God is not listening to their prayers. So we need to teach them from early ages that it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that it's saying when God doesn't answer our prayers, it doesn't mean that he's not working on it. We have to understand the difference. I always use the traffic sign. Red, it's wait. Red means no, I have other plans for you. But it doesn't mean God's not listening. Then you have the red light. God is telling you, wait, I'm working on it. And the green light, he answers right away. Visual aid, simple concept, but it helps them to understand. Simple. We have, but it's important to teach them how to pray. You can have games that are related to the topic you were trying. Drama is something that they really like, puppets, you know, those white gloves that they put and create the characters or to illustrate a story. You can do the shadows. There are so many prompts that you can use to enhance the Sabbath school. You can have them acting out. You read and you get some kids each week and they can act out a story as you tell. You can even read the text and have all of them, like for example, if Peter is walking with Jesus over the water, you can have the kids being the sea, you know, and they can move their arms, and then you have Jesus and Peter in the front. Be creative, you know. You all are experienced. I'm pretty sure that you probably even have done this. Make sure you set rules. Help them to behave. Stick to the rules. Punish with love. Make them understand that certain things are not acceptable at any time, but always with love. To the older ones, let them help you to set the rules. Write them or put pictures that relate to what was decided in terms of rules. They will follow. And the ones that have a little difficulty, because you always have difficult children, work with them. They will get it. My son is ADHD, and I was all, because some parents don't accept that their kids have issues, but I was the type of parent that either my husband or I, we were always sitting with him to make sure that he wouldn't disturb the other children, because that's not right. But we didn't want him not to have the same chance to be at the Sabbath school and learn from somebody else besides at home. He went to Adventist schools. My both kids went to Adventist schools, but it's still, you know, I didn't want him not to have fun and learning church. So think about that too, because I always tell people, think what Jesus would do. Mary Magdalene was a person that was not accepted by society because of the way she behaved. What did Jesus do? He didn't send her away. He embraced her instead. So as a leader, always have in mind, not only in regards to the children, but also how you relate with your team and people involved in your ministry. What would Jesus do? We are not Jesus. I understand that. But he should definitely be our example, right? So you can always explain to children. Another thing that I notice in the churches I visit, the teachers don't explain very well to children about offering. It doesn't matter if it's 1 penny that the child is giving. as an offering. Make that count. Explain to them why they are giving that and for what is happening, what we are helping to build, which mission that is going to. They need to know, because they are gonna see that giving to others is important, that they are helping others. There are so many concepts that are inserted just in the fact that you explain what offering is about and where is it going and what it's going to be used for. Games, I told already, arts and crafts. Children like that. You don't need to go wild and crazy spending tons of money in crafts. Just a craft that will have impact and will reinforce whatever the theme of the week is. Keep in mind, if you want to have a successful program, what kids do like. If you think that having the board with the little carrots that the child gets and put there, the flannel board, and they are gonna sit quietly, and then you sit on the chair, it doesn't exist anymore. Our technology, it's too stimulating for children to sit still. They don't have patience for anything, even for information. Everything in today's world has to be fast. My daughter always gives me a hard time because, of course, I'm a different generation. I'm not as fast as she is with technology. You know, I can do my way, but I'm much slower than her. So she gets upset. Mom, let me do it. Let me do it. They are not patient. Everything has to be like yesterday, you know. You see 2, 3-year-old, Google it. Mommy, Google it. So it's a different world. They like movement. They need to be stimulated. They like excitement. They love music. So music with movement is always a good starting point. Games, they do like games. They enjoy crafts. Really encourage them to talk to each other and talk about what they are learning while they are working on the crafts. If you have help, that ask the helpers to talk to them and really let them express what they are learning about, you know, the Bible concept, how they can apply that in their real lives, how they can show their friends they are not church goers, what they learned without, you know, losing respect, things like that. Stories depend on how you tell the story. If your story takes too long, attention goes away. So you have to be very smart and creative on how to tell the story, because you want them to listen from beginning to the end. The activities, they can give you ideas. You can talk to them and say, well, what do you like to do? And based on that, there is this for older kids, or even for the little ones, you can buy one of these beach balls and write different things in each of the colors of the ball, like favorite fruit or whatever. For the ones that cannot read yet, you throw the color they get, you read what is in there, and the child can tell, oh, favorite fruit, favorite Bible character, you know, different categories. And it's a game that everybody likes. The same with the parachute that the older kids like to play. It's another one. As I mentioned before, they love to be included. Every child wants to feel that they are accepted, that they are loved, that you care for him, for them. And also that they can count on you. Because maybe you will reach a point that they might not have anybody to talk about something that is going on, and they will come to you. You might be the only Bible, the only contact with God that they have, based on the statistics, right, that I mentioned earlier. Prizes is a little tricky because when I was growing up, we had prizes. Like my teachers had this board, and with the name of all the students, and then we had it was a star system. So if you study 7 days in the week, if you did any missionary work, if you got there on time, A lot of times children don't get on time because of the parents. So this can create a little upsetting. So you can still reward them, but put a chess box, for example, just an idea. You have a difficult child. If he behaves that Sabbath, he can take a prize from this kind of rewarding prize, create different categories so all of them can get prizes. So that's why it's important for you to know your children. And then, I mean, I'm a skit queen. I love skits. I think that it involves all the senses. Kids really get into it. And as they grow, or even the older ones can always do the skit for the little ones. They love that. You cannot go wrong with that. And I mean, there are a lot of skits already written, and Google it, and you just have to look for it and adjust, because some of them don't follow what we believe, but that's easy to, it's not, doesn't require too much work. You can also you can dress as a character. Like, for example, if you want to, you're telling the story of Joseph, you can put a colorful sheet, and then you can get like a scarf and put an elastic here on your head, and you have like a Bible character topping, you know. Or if you were talking about mission, put a vest that it's like you are going to the jungle, or you are going to go on an adventure mission. Simple things that get their attention, and they love it when you. Or if you are a guy, put a tie with children, or put a tie that will call their attention, or for women a scarf. There are so many things we can do to really enhance whatever program we put together. How do you understand your audience? I listed some. I would love you guys to tell me at the end if you have any additional suggestions. I think I'm running out of time, so I'm going to expedite a little. But always encourage, I think the last one is spiritual and personal growth. It's very important to stimulate that in your children, in our children, and us, your team. It's super fundamental. Live what you teach. Make sure that it's always age appropriate. What is the age you are working for? And guys, every single train, doesn't matter the topic I talk about, I enforce this. If there is something I want you to leave here from this train today, there are two things I would like you to leave here today with. What would Jesus do? And use horizontal communication with the children. You are not on the top because you are adult. They are not on the bottom because they are children. The vertical communication doesn't work. Speak their language. Don't expect them to understand your language. Make sure whatever you teach in a way that will make sense to them. You don't need to sound pretty or an authority on knowledge or anything. Just need to make sure they get what you were trying to teach.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I think it was my watch, sorry.
But I don't know what you mean by my watch, sorry.
Sorry, guys. Technology, see? How do you make them engage in Sabbath school? We already talked a little bit about that. Be a mediator, include them. If the child is shy, go easy on it, make them feel comfortable little by little until they really engage and participate. They will eventually. Some kids take longer than others. Use the extrovert ones to help the shy ones to feel welcoming and feel part of it. As I mentioned, high energy and low energy activities to keep control of your class. Discipline techniques, it's also good. There are a lot of things out in the internet that can help you with. And for the other ones, create a blog. I suggest kaboom.com. you can be the mediator on the blog, and it can be their safe harbor, because a lot of kids go through things at school that they don't understand, and some of them really don't feel comfortable talking to their parents. So let them talk to each other, and you just, help, and it doesn't take that long. You can put a verse, a Bible verse, or you can, if there is a more serious problem, knowing the parents, you can help the parents to realize, very carefully what's going on, because a lot of times parents have no clue of what's going on in the classroom. Let's face it, this education thing that they are trying to implement in the curriculum of the children, like kindergartners, sexuality for kindergartners. Oh, you are not a girl, you're not, they don't even know who they are. But how was that found out? Because parents went to the meetings, and there were all those things going on that they were upset because of COVID. The kids stayed home, the parents have to stay home, and then they realized, I think most of parents, for the first time, what the children were learning. That's dangerous. That is, I'm so glad my kids are out of school. They are older. It's challenging. Today's world is very challenging. So blogs are very good, and is a way also for them to keep relationships in the church with people from the church, with the same values, with the same ideas, and they can help each other. A lot of kids might have the tendency to do the wrong things, but they realize, no, I better do God has his ways to work on things. Well, when you put your program together, you focus on the team, you include all the elements, because then you can cover all the areas we mentioned before. Very important, apply to real life. Making the child identify he or herself with what they are learning from the Bible with their lives. It's key, because they will always associate something that they will keep inside of them for life. It's more important than we give credit for. We take for granted, but it's very important. And be creative. Keep it simple and be creative. I'm almost done, okay? The challenge you might face: short attention, the learning styles, the different learning styles, the temperaments and how to discipline them, the volunteers, the reliable people working, and support from parents. We are not a daycare, people. We are a Sabbath school. Some parents think they can dump the kid there, we will watch for free for an hour, and they can pick them up and have a break. No. Our function, our mission, it's different. So keep that in mind, not daycare. Ongoing training and development, that's very important. We can talk a little bit more on the management administration presentation, but it's very important to equip your team with training, with development, always improving their developmental skills. Do little seminars, it can be Zoom, but of people that are experts in different areas that can have child development, or different techniques that can help you to better work with the children's age that you work. I think that talking to your team and debriefing before and after, 5-minute debriefing. So what did go wrong? Oh, this went right. Oh, this went very well today. Oh, this didn't go very well. What can we do to improve it next time? Talk to them. Feedback, communication, okay? So why learning? Why teaching? And why being a leader?
I was teaching a Sunday school class. The lesson was about how kids could trust Jesus with their cares and burdens. In the activity, they wrote down their burdens on sheets of paper, folded them into planes, and flew them to Jesus. In my class were 3 rowdy boys. I don't know what they wrote on their papers, if anything. Class was fun. I had no idea if the point was getting across. Until 2 years later, when the mother of one of those boys died. Who would have thought? A simple paper airplane would help this young boy remember that he could trust Jesus with anything, with everything. Never doubt that what you're doing matters.
Never doubt what you are doing matters. As I said before, we will see the results of the work we are doing years ahead. But be sure of one thing: God is using you to make a difference. You have to trust Him, let Him guide you, and things will happen and unfold in a way that you cannot even imagine. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of a mind. We want our children's mind to be Christ-centered and always looking for answers coming from Jesus. What would Jesus do? If they have that motto in their lives, we did our job. We were used by God. That's the only thing I have to say. I open the mics now for questions. And another thing is, that's okay, because I can combine with the other class and speak less in the other class, but I would love if you can ask questions and we can talk a little bit.
I don't really have a question, but I'm going back to the statement you made about letting the parents know that they need to be involved instead of treating children's church or as a babysitting time frame. So how do you engage parents? Because I know they are looking forward for maybe that 1 hour just to sit in church, listen to the message, so they don't have to be, focused on their kids at that time. But how do you keep them engaged, even if it's not every Sabbath that they come, but volunteer for maybe 30 minutes or to the time frame? How do you do that and have them understand that, this is not for you to just, drop off and just have a little free time, but to stay engaged when you can?
You can have different events. You have to create, like churches have potlucks after service. You can have a breakfast for parents. So they can bring, you have to create a community. You have to bring them closer to you. And then based on each parent's personality, some people will offer right away to do, and some other parents will take a little longer. That's why you can never give up on trying to bring them closer. Which age do you teach?
Well, I've taught kindergarten, and I've taught primary, so and I've had some parents involved, but the majority are looking for that break, and which I do understand, but I've never thought about doing like a parents' breakfast and involve them. So I like that idea. Thank you for that.
And or a potluck or a lunch, or you can, weather permitting, go to a park. Oh, our Sabbath school, let's do in a park. So you can teach them to do evangelism. You can bring some stuff, like you can bring somebody that knows how to do ballooning, for example, and you can give different ballooning figures to the kids around. It's a way for them to live, experience, because NAD believes in learning by experiencing, hands-on learning. So you can oh, Jesus created the dog, or you don't even have to talk about Jesus. They will ask, oh, where are you guys from? Oh, we are from the Adventist church, You are welcome to come. We always meet on Sabbath. So you invite the children, because when you invite the children in the park, who brings them? The parents. So there are so many ways that really, because of the mentality we have, we don't think about it, but like, it's the same thing. You can start asking for parents, oh, your child will have a special part in the Sabbath school. Can you come and see him? I think, or her, will be very important. So attract the parents to your room. And then they will start, oh, I'm so glad to see you today. I'm kind of, I need help with this. Would you be available to help me? Or if the person doesn't have, you will get a lot of no's, okay? But what you need is one yes. Oh, do you know anybody that can help me? I am really running short and I want to provide the kids with the best I can. And, sometimes I need help. You start doing your marketing, and it has to be steady and patiently, because some people take longer, but they will come and they will help. They will. I promise
Thank you.
And pray.
Yes.
Pray.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Hi, I just want to add that we started doing breakfast lately. We just done it two times, breakfast for the parents, to also stimulate for them to come early to Sabbath school, and that has, as of now, it has really helped. There's been more kids in the classrooms, and parents are much more engaged. I also have a questions.
But you saw a difference, right?
Yeah, they're much more engaged, and they're looking forward, and
That's
kids
awesome.
are on time to their
Excellent.
classes. We do like at 8:30, and our Sabbath school starts at 9:30.
Excellent.
So for now, it's working, and like you said, prayer, it also works a lot.
Excellent.
That's one of the things. And I have a question. What happens if the child, just in general, some teachers, I'm not a director or anything like that.
If the what? You got cut. If what?
What happened if some teachers don't show up? How do you deal with that? And it's
You have to have always a plan B.
Okay.
Because one thing that you have to make sure, when I was talking about setting rules, the rules also go to your team. So if you cannot show up, you are responsible in sending somebody to replace you. If you cannot fulfill your commitment in being there that Sabbath, you need to fill your place, because, as a teacher, you cannot do everything. So that's why communication with your team is very important. And they will do, because people know each other in church. They will send somebody to be there. But if they don't, maybe you can borrow somebody from another class that has more like extra, Maybe you can put two classes together, or be creative and do, because it's only 1 hour. You are not going to die, It will be harder, but it's doable. If it was all day, I would say, tough. But for 1 hour, we can do it. We have experience. We are mothers. We are multitask. It's a woman thing, right? I don't know if I answered your question. I'm a very practical person. And for me, I am a doer. And the hardest thing for me, and I'm talking personally, okay? It's delegate. I'm a controller. I rather have everything under me, because I know it's gonna happen, because I'm not gonna let down. People let you down. So if I'm working with you and you let me down, I will cover for you, and I will, if you have to restructure or change a little bit, you have to have, you know, in Brazil, the type of dance called samba.
Yes.
Abiola, do you know?
Zumba.
Yeah, you move your waist, right? So in Brazil, we use this expression. You have to have the move of your waist to deal with tight situations.
Flexibility.
Flexibility, exactly. It's a proverb, like it's a popular saying. Be flexible. Dance the Zumba if you have to, and make it happen, you know. And can I tell a secret? Kids will not notice. That's what I'm saying, guys. Don't stress yourself. We put more pressure on us than we really have to. Quality doesn't mean complexity. The simpler, the better. And if you have, for example, less people to help you, another suggestion, take one thing out of the program so you won't be tied with time. There are so many things that can, I don't know if I answered your question the way you expected.
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Come on, people, participate.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I'm new in faith. And then I was chosen as the children's director. And I have a lot of ideas, but sometimes I struggle with giving instruction or with going in and taking over. I don't know if you get.
How do you struggle? Can you be more?
So I feel like sometimes I shouldn't tell other people who've been in the church longer than me. My ideas or stuff like that. So like, how do you do that?
You don't need to impose your ideas, but it's all a question of how you market your ideas. You don't be a dictator. I tend to be bossy, okay? I always joke, people, I'm a management, okay? I tell you what to do, and people laugh. I make jokes, so people know I'm playing, but I'm not really playing. I'm telling them what to do. But the way they take it, because I do in a funny way, it's not offensive to them. But trust me, I'm very bossy, okay? Ask my kids. So you have good ideas, present them, and ask them for feedback. Ask them to also give their ideas. Even if you do what you want, show them that you are open to listen for what they have to say without having an answer right after. Oh, that's a very good idea. How could we incorporate? How could we do this? And oh, can you do that then? Can you find the people and make that happen? So as people give you suggestions, because you know, it's very easy for people to come and criticize what you are doing, but they don't really take the lead and do what you are doing. I give an example, okay? During COVID, my daughter is 22 years old. We couldn't go out, we couldn't go to church, we couldn't do anything. So what she did, she called some people her age from the church to do Bible studies. We call small groups here in my house. And I told her, limit, because I am high risk to take COVID, so let's low key. So they came, they were doing worship, and but they stayed late, but they were not doing anything. They were singing like super Christian, super godly, There were people in the church saying that there were orgies happening here, that we were partying here. And I'm like, okay, if we are doing something wrong, why don't you open your house and offer for these youth people doing something towards God and doing things that they shouldn't do, drinking, or I don't know, because some of them do this, And guess what? During this time, 2 kids, one got rebaptized and the other kid decided to go to get baptized. So who I'm gonna listen? The people that was about mouthing, or what God used my daughter for? So you have to be selective. You have to have in this regard. Yes, I listened what they had to say. I didn't agree with that. And the most important thing is God knew that that was not what was happening here. We never did parties or anything. It was like Bible study, singing, talking about, oh, I was thinking, oh, I have a friend that is going through this. Oh, there is this Bible verse that you can show him. It's really cool. Oh, I read that devotional that might help him. What do you want for youth people? You want to see that, right? So my advice to you is listen what they have to say, as much possible incorporating your ideas, and help and ask their help to make things happen. Does it answer your question? And don't be afraid because you are new incoming. Ideas don't have age in church. Ideas are ideas, you know. You don't, I have a lot of ideas from private sector. I never held, I have never held office in the church. I never worked for the General Conference. I mean, this work that I do, training, is volunteer. It's not a job, you know. And I bring my private sectors, especially for management, administration, how to lead the teams. I use things I learned from private sector, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. The cake recipe is the same. You just change the ingredients. What you use for the business world, you can use for the Christian world. You know, the basics are the same, just the topics are different. Make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My problem for my church, the children, you know, the parents, they don't bring the children at the right time. They come. By the time they come, they are late. And the teachers, we feel bad to let the children go to the sanctuary when it's time for divine service or almost time, and they didn't get anything. So it makes us late. And may I know how to go about it with the family or the parents?
The breakfast strategy. You need to think of strategies. Okay, it's all marketing. Keep in mind, it's all marketing. Strategies. Oh, I want to have breakfast with the children. Or you know what you can do that is really cool too? Do the foot wash with the children. Oh, I really need you to come with your child so we can do a foot wash, so they can experience the foot washing, the bread, the thing. Can you please bring them, but please be on time because I still will have Sabbath school. Start with that. You know what I mean? Do breakfast. Oh, what can you bring for breakfast? Because I would like to have breakfast and a special time of prayer with them. Would you like to join us so you can pray with your child? And then you make the prayer corners so they can go around and pray for different things. You were killing birds with one stone too. You were teaching them to pray. You are putting them with their parents. They can pray with friends. You know what I mean? Depending on their ages, obviously. Find activities that will attract the parents and make them come early. You just say, well, you know, it needs to be before Sabbath school. It doesn't matter if they are late, but they will be on time for your Sabbath school. Got it? Oh. Because your objective is to have them on time for Sabbath school. If they don't want to eat, it's their problem, right? I don't know if I helped, but that's what I would do.
Because that is the only problem. They come, but they come late.
Find activities to do before, so they will be on time for Sabbath school. Different activities. oh, I have this craft. I'm learning about, I'm gonna teach about Noah's Ark, for example. Or when I have this craft, but they are gonna have to have extra time, would you mind bringing them earlier? So they don't get disappointed that they have time to finish the craft. I don't know, you know, do different things, find different things to attract them to come earlier. And then excite the kids. Oh, let's have breakfast together. And then you play some games, you put some pillows on the floor, they sit. Maybe if you find somebody that plays the guitar, which song do you like? The person plays the guitar. You can have a worship before you have the Sabbath school. You can invite the parents, oh, let's have a worship. We all have a common goal. As the leader of your children, I need your prayers, your support. You know, I would love to hear your suggestions. Oh, can you come? I would like to have a meeting with you so we can go over things. I would like to know what you expect the Sabbath school to teach your children. You know, play the politics, play the marketing thing, you know. Just some ideas.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I passed the time, but I promise I will be very short on the next one. And then if you guys still want to continue with the questions, I can leave the time at the end, okay? But let's have a 5-minute PP time. Then we can come back for the next one. Or you want to go straight? Nobody wants to stop.
A break, please. Thank you.
Okay, 5 minutes, okay?
Thank you.
If anybody wants to talk, I'm here, you know.
I have a question for you,
yes.
Robin.
Yes.
First, I want to say thank you for your presentation. It has me thinking. One of the things that I think we struggle with my church right now is a little bit of the older children, the
older
youth, like
children?
the teenagers. Yeah, you were talking. Oh my goodness.
It's like okay, she has something.
I know he just wants to talk. I feel like I struggle because right now I feel like the teenagers don't really have a place or anything to do. And I know you're talking about making things a little bit more modern and relatable to them, but I don't feel as strongly equipped. I want to. I did try, to talk to them and try to get ideas of like things they want to see. I know socialization is one thing, like going out to an event or like, maybe hosting a bowling or something like that. But I need, I guess, a little bit of ideas of how to bring in more of the Bible studies and so it's not, how you're saying, like, not boring, not the same thing, or sitting like their attention span is probably a lot more, just as more busy as the younger kids too. It's like, get straight to the point, stop making me,
I love to work with teenagers. I love teenagers, okay? And I like juniors and teenagers because I think
my
that they are juniors kids. Because they are starting to think on their own, and then teenagers because you can mold them and point them to the right direction. The blog is very cool. Chats. Open a chat room and make sure that they understand that that is their safe harbor. It's like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's the same thing. Whatever is said in that chat room will stay in the chat room.
Mm-hmm.
And through the chat room, you can have one part of events. You can, depending on how much they are involved on, I don't know, because some children know each other better than others, but what your objective should be is build a friendship among them. You can create a newspaper or some kind of thing that they can write about. I'm gonna write about, some of them love writing, some not, but some are good in photography. So you can get the strengths of each one of them and see what they like. and then you put something together, or one of them can put, because these kids are born with the phone, the cell phone. I mean, they are born like this, you know, and put something together that they can put on social media, or they can print and distribute to the community. You can find common subjects that they are interested in. For example, they can do something about bullying. It can be a picture, it can be an art piece, but then you post, I forgot the word. You know, when you advertise, you send out. Or another thing too is have them making a special program. Okay, guys, let's do this program. We'll be in the afternoon. We are going to invite community, and we are going to invite, you are going to do skits. You are going to do the entire program. So what would you like to have in the program? And then they can do the skit. You can find a funny skit or whatever. They can dress up. They can, sometimes you have somebody that can talk. It doesn't have to be too long, 10 minutes. That's it, you know. Which songs do you like? Which songs would you like? Do you play instruments? Who plays instruments? Oh, let's make a band. Let's put a song together, and then you go to the pastor. Oh, we are gonna do special music. Who wants to be greeting people coming? Who will be the greeters for our class today? Another thing, put the cell phones on buckets when they come to your room. They can only use cell phones if you ask them to Google something, because it's very distracting when they go to the class with the gadgets, you know. What else you can do? I don't know if I gave you enough ideas. Oh, let's have a bowling night.
You gave me a lot to think about, for sure.
Okay, let's have a pizza night. Let's watch a movie. Go to somebody's house. Each one take something to eat or to drink, and then you have a little movie night in somebody's house. Oh, let's have a game night in somebody's house. Parents always will offer the house, okay? And then you have, oh, which games do you like? Oh, I can bring this, I can bring that game, you know? And then, so you ask them, what do you want to do? What would you like to do? So you start asking them what they want to do. And then they will start giving you ideas. And then when it warms up, oh, let's go to the park. Oh, let's go to, you know, you find different things to do. I mean, there are always so many things to do, you know. I don't know. That's what I used to do with my my teens, you know.
No, yeah, I like that. Thank you so much.
And then another thing that I used to do with them, because I didn't have computer like chats or anything this was back in Brazil, I used to call once a week, do a group call, and we will do meditation, like read something and pray, 5 minutes. And if anybody needed special prayer, to keep contact during the week, not only on Saturday, you know?
Right.
Then, but since you have now Zoom, it's so much easier now. And then they can make, oh, what do you want to talk about? Oh, so-and-so, can you get the text that we are gonna read? And then sometimes you ask who wants to pray, or sometimes you can say, oh, can you pray for us? You know, you just start, and they will engage, and they will, and if somebody is not interested, you can suggest, let's talk about things that would make you guys be more interested in these things. Why you are not interested? What makes you not be into it? And based on what they answer to you, you work around it, you know, and you bring them closer. Marketing, this is all marketing.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, so are you guys ready for the next one? Is everybody back?
Yes, let's roll.
I want everybody to stand up. Stand up, everybody. No sleeping, huh? I want you guys to do 5 of the jump the jacks. I don't see anybody jumping. You have to jump. There you go. Okay. There you go. Let's stretch.
Robin, this is a workout morning.
Again?
I said, this is a workout morning.
Hey, I'm a very high activity person.
I see. Obrigado.
Brazilian way, you know. I want everybody to wake up. Is everybody awake?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so let's now share the screen and start the next one. What do you think? I will do the next one shorter, and then I will make sure that you guys can have more time to talk and ask questions. Fair? Do you like that?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I have a question.
Can
before we
everybody
move
see
on.
it? Can
No.
everybody see the slide?
No, not yet.
Okay, I did something wrong. Hold on.
I think someone wanted to ask you a question too before you move on.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. So it's me. So I have a quick question. We know that, lately there's been like, a lot of broken homes. So especially for like Mother's Day and Father's Day, we like to do a little something for kids to take home for their parents. So when time comes, like when we're doing something and a child just says, I don't have a mom or I don't have a dad, how are we supposed to cope with that?
That is a tough one. Can you see the slide? Just can you see now?
Yes, it's up.
Okay, good. What I would suggest is, who do you have in your life?
I'm sorry?
You have to, if you know your children, by the time you have Mother's Day, Father's Day, you will know, instead of having a father, who is the male figure, or who would you like to give this? Who is the person who is your mentor? Who is somebody that you would like to give a gift? Because this is part of the child's reality. Like I was not raised by my parents. So everything I did in Sabbath school or even in school was for my grandparents. So if you know your children, you will come to the child and say, oh, I'm giving you the example of a grandfather or a grandmother, okay? I'm pretty sure your grandmother will love what you were doing. You were doing such a good job. Would you like to do one more for somebody else?
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Because then the person will say, well, it's not the end of the world that I don't have a mother or father, but I have people that I can do it for. The important thing is to have somebody to do for. Does it make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Do you agree with
it? Yeah, I agree. So instead of saying, okay, we're doing something for Mother's Day or Father's Day, I could just say, we're doing something for somebody that's important in your life.
Exactly.
Okay,
because
that makes sense. Thank you.
You know what? Unfortunately, we have to deal with one more issue now. The gay marriage. Because even though our church don't support this, it's a reality. I already see gay couples in churches that I visit. So it's easier if you put in general terms, not that I agree with it, okay? But to avoid this kind of uncomfortable situation, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not a question if you approve or not approve. This is up to God, but because of a child, because despite all this encouragement of teaching this transgender thing and sexuality and all, I mean, things are just getting more confused. And I don't care what they teach. Children are children. They are not mature to learn what they are trying to teach them. They are not ready for it. They don't have the maturity necessary to learn these things. And I'm not talking even about religion. I'm talking about child development. but that's another subject.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So let's start then the track 5, administration and management. Okay, we can continue talking, guys, and then I will do this very quick, okay? Because a lot of things I already covered, they overlap a little bit, so I don't want to repeat myself. I would like this in this seminar that you leave with awareness of the difference between administration and management. What are some of the steps for good management? We talked a little on the previous one about how to be a good manager, and the strategies and planning that will efficiently reach whatever goals you set. So in your opinion, what is administration? What's the definition of administration? Nobody?
Well, usually administration is like, you know, they register people, they get information out. When I think of administration,
in terms of
the process,
in terms of business, or let's think about church, okay? The administration would be the pastor, the ushers, the people that decides on the board. They decide on how the church is managed. They set the rules and and they give the guidance on what it's gonna be done by management. So I do very simple. This is the definition according to the dictionary, but the way I see administration tells you what to do, and management makes it happen accordingly. Does it make sense?
Yes.
This is the dictionary definition.
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, but in simple words, that's what it is. Administration normally in an organizational structure is above management. The administration set the rules, management makes them happen. Management tells administration how much money they need to make whatever administration wants them to do. Administration approves the money or not, the budget. Does it make sense? That's an example, okay?
Yes.
Okay, let's continue. Let's think about a church, okay? We go back to questions at the end. Let me just put the main idea and then we can talk, okay?
Okay.
I rather talk because we can exchange opinions than just me talking, but I just want to give you the basics of the class so you get the certification, okay? So the organizational structure of a company, or in this case, the church, can be formed, structured in different ways, okay? In this one, the children's ministry director is on the top, and then you have the assistant director and the ministry, and the 2 assistant directors, for example, because you have a big church. And then under them, you have the VBS leader, the Tablet school director, and the outreach coordinator. But you can put the little circles in whatever position you want, because each church is different. You can be under the same conference and be structured differently, because it depends on how many members you have, how much tithes you get, how much offerings. There is a series of variants that can influence the way you organize the structure of your church. We can talk more about that later if you have a question. One problem that we have to keep in mind that is, for me, it is scary. It's between 40 and 50% of Adventist youth leave church in their 20s. That is alarming. One thing that I don't remember your name, I apologize, the one that was asking about the youth, the teenagers.
Me, Sharon.
Shariah, I don't think our church gives enough support for teenagers. I think you go, by the time they get baptized, there is a gap between when they get baptized and when they turn into young adults. And by the time they turn young adults, they are out, because they are in college, parties, and drinking and drugs and other things. We need to work on that. And I think the idea of having activities with them that we were talking about, hopefully with a lot of prayer, a lot of guidance from God, can change this percentage. My prayer is that through that, doing our work well done, letting God use us, we can change this percentage. We can minimize this percentage. That's my wish and my prayer, to be honest with you guys. For you to be a good manager and to really lead efficiently, I'm gonna focus on management because we are not administrators, so we are managers, okay? Mm-hmm. So I gave you an overview what administration is, but we just need to have a good relation with them because, you know, the way you market your ideas, the way you negotiate with them, the way you are involved with even the boring things. I mean, you want something more boring than meetings, that they go over things and you have hours of meetings. I mean, it's tedious, but it's necessary. They need to do that in order to define the direction and the plan, short-term planning, long-term planning within the head of the church, right? And then because they have to submit whatever is decided to the conference. So there is also a hierarchy above the administration of your church to keep in mind. But as a good manager, you have to establish your vision. Okay, what is my purpose? What I want to accomplish? What do I want to do here? What is the objective of my function? What I expect from people under me? Who I'm going to need to make my vision reality? And then your mission is to figure it out how to do it. Okay, I can do programs for the teenagers. I can do extra events. I can look for events that will reach out the community. Once you establish that part of your vision is also reach out, because a lot of churches go out to reach out communities. So if that's one thing, I'm giving you examples, okay? Okay, what are events that are happening in the city that I can incorporate in my church and attract people from the community? If you are, turn to community outreach. So how do you do? It's the mission, right? And then why are you doing this? What are your values? The people that will be under you, should they have the same values as you? Because you might think, well, we should reach community, but you have some other people that think, no, let's keep within our people because we have to make sure to save our children and keep them in church and People think differently. People have different missions. People, we believe in the same thing, but doesn't necessarily mean we have the same values. Something that for example, something that is very important to me is trust. I need to trust people I work with in church. Maybe for you, trust is not the more important value. Maybe it's efficiency or reliability. So we have different values in this sense. We believe in the same thing, character, integrity, faith, but in terms of values, maybe what is important to me is not as much important to you. Something else is more important to you. You get the idea, right? Well, once you establish those three things, how you become a good manager? What do you think makes you a good manager? Hold your thought, okay?
You're the leader. It's on you. You didn't pick leadership. It picked you. You're called for this. Break out of your shell. You have what it takes. You were born with it. It's in you. A seed. Water it. Embrace it. Invest in your success. Study leadership. Read books. Watch videos. Listen to podcasts. Create your leadership brand. Then live that brand every day. Make a massively positive impact on your team. Love your team. Pour into your team. Lead them. They don't want a manager, they want a leader, a heroic figure, a role model. Be that. Build a championship team. See the potential in every person. Pull it out of them. Coach them. Inspire them. Teach them. Demand excellence from them. And all along the way, be the example. You set the tone. You cast the vision. You bring the attitude, effort, and energy. So start moving. No regrets. They will follow you. Make the culture your #1 priority. It's your performance environment. It's what provides the energy and passion needed to fulfill your plan and achieve your mission, to make your vision a reality. If you invest in the culture, the performance will follow. Championship leaders build championship teams that drive championship performance. Focus on the culture and execution of your team in order to capture the dream. You're the leader. It's on you.
You are the leader. It's on you. What is to be a good leader? Anybody?
You got to be a role model.
What else? Good. That's
someone who leads by example.
Exactly. What else?
Empowering.
Be a servant.
What?
Be a servant.
Be a servant.
Leaders empowers.
They empower, but they have to have what? In order for you to empower somebody, what do you need?
Be reliable.
Nope. Do you have to have a strategy?
Strategy. Mm-hmm.
Once you set your strategy, once you know your people, you can empower them. As I mentioned in the previous class, you can use their strengths, but at the same time, you can work on their weaknesses. And that goes for the children's ministry directors, as well as to the leaders in the Sabbath school. You use the same thing with your team, because you will have volunteers helping you with the class. You will be the head of your classroom, but you will have also to guide the ones that are helping you with the program and the Sabbath school, the relationship with parents, bringing them together. It's not simple, but it is simple, because you know what the secret is? Everything goes together. As the video said, you know what was the thing that I liked the most in the video that I just showed you? Set up the culture. It's on you. Doesn't matter what you do. Set the culture. Once you set the culture, you set the environment you will be in. Work on each of your members. Work with your members together. That's being a good manager. Building a championship team for a championship program. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it takes mindset.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, very much so.
You got it. Planning. You need to plan. You need to know. You need to come to your Sabbath school, to whatever, if it's children's church, to come prepared. Have your plan B. If something doesn't work, have a plan B. Okay, if something happens, I'm going to take this out. Oh, I always can count on so on. I will ask to fill it in. You always will find ways. Let me tell you something. God will never let you down. And God will never let Satan be in the way when you are working for God. He might try. He's not going to succeed. Sometimes you think, oh, it was horrible. Nothing worked today. It was, I cannot. Let me give you an example, okay? I used to sing in a choir in Brazil. And then I also played the bells. And we went to this public place in São Paulo where I grew up. That is huge, like a lot of people. And it was a public event, free. And we had a conductor, professional conductor. And he said, we are going to sing, I'm going to tell, okay, El Shaddai. The song El Shaddai. I don't know why. Maybe because I heard it so many times. I don't want to sing El Shaddai, okay? I am over here with El Shaddai. So we sung El Shaddai. And I told him, and I'm like, can we sing something else out of several songs, right? Okay, we sung El Shaddai, other songs. And then at the end of the program, there was this woman that approached the stage, pouring out in tears. I want to know your God. You really touched my heart. I cannot explain how. Guess which song?
El Shaddai.
El Shaddai.
Touched my heart. And I'm like, okay, God, I got the message. I will shut up and I will sing El Shaddai. I'm not going to say anything anymore, you know?
Amen.
So, but sometimes you are like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, but God has a plan. It's the same in any situation. So keep that in mind. You don't need to be perfect. You are not doing the program for yourself or for the parents. You are doing for the children that you are working with. And children are not critical the way we are. Simple things, creative things. If you are overwhelmed, if you don't have the help you need, get a video, put on the laptop with movements, or ask them to create the movements. You can come up with something else that will still teach what you want to teach them, and it's connected with the team. Just trust God. Let the Holy Spirit guide you, and things will unfold amazingly. I guarantee you this. How do you manage like a Christian, like Jesus would manage? First, you pray, right? Pray, 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 and pray. One thing you have to do, pray for each other. If you are not from the same church, get each other's phone. Call one another. Can I pray with you this week? Oh, I have this program, I'm stuck on this. Do you have any ideas? We are not competing against each other. We work together. We have the same objective, the same goal. Why not share ideas? Why not help each other? We all want to have quality programs that will penetrate our children's hearts and stick for life. That's our common goal. So let's help each other, not compete with each other. You plan. You have to plan, and you have to also have, you always have to include plan B, plan C, and plan D, because things will happen. Nothing is perfect in life, the contrary. So be ready, be flexible. Don't be tight or stuck on whatever you want or however you want things to happen. Give space for necessary change or unforeseen situations that you will have to adapt on the spot. That's life. You need to recruit, and you need to be wise when recruiting. You need to observe and really be able to identify qualities or in people that you can use for the ministry. But you also should try to develop the sensitivity of people that might not have the skills yet, but there are people that you see potential growth and that you can coach, you can mentor, you can really work on the person because the talent is there. It just needs to be developed.
Ernest.
Then you prepare. You prepare the program, you prepare your team, you talk to them, you meet, you debrief. It's very important to debrief every Saturday after 5 minutes. It's not 3-hour debriefing, okay? What went right? What did go wrong? How can we improve? What should we do next time? Oh, that child, how can I predict that it's gonna trigger that child and he's gonna have the tantrum? What can we do to get to him before things happen? Little things that doesn't look important, little things that don't look important, but it can have a huge impact in the overall environment. And then you debrief, like I said, talk, improve. There is always place for improvement. Nobody's perfect. We are all a work in progress. So let's keep working and let's keep it progressing. So the 4 I's, to be in a relationship with God and your team. You include people, right? You instruct them, you invest in them with training, everything I talked about, and you inspire them. Not hard to do. They all go together. You don't need, for example, a lot of people say, yeah, but how am I going to invest? We don't have too much budget. I had people asking me before, there are so many free online courses that you can just send the link and say, I would recommend you to watch this. I learned a lot. It can enhance your qualities. Tell me what you think about this. There are so many free information out there. But as a manager, part of your job is to find things that will be pertinent or interesting for your team to improve, to grow. And it doesn't have only to be in terms of management or team building, but also in spiritual growth. We are all together on this. We all should be growing together. Budgets and events. You have to have the marketing that I keep saying with the administration of your church. So it's very important as the manager for you to plan events that you know are gonna take place during the year, and then how much will cost. Always put more budget than you really need, because you know there are contingencies, there are things that happen that you will end up spending more money, and most of the time they don't give you what you ask. They always pull down. So it's in every place, church, private business, international organization, it's all the same. They never give you the budget you ask. But if you justify and you list, and I'm pretty sure no matter if you are a new incomer or you just got the position, there were people before you that did it, the planning. So you can use that as a reference, improve. There are also timetables, or not templates, not timetables, templates that you can use and just fill in the costs of things and you know, like supplies that you will need, if there is an event, how many people you expect to be there, and
we have a hot mic. We have a hot mic.
Yeah, I would like everybody to turn off the mics, please.
Okay.
Can everybody turn the mic off, please? Thank you. So you need to for every event, how much money you need, how many people you expect you'll be aiming to bring to the event. So any cost that you can possibly think about, you include on the, if you don't want a template, just do a spreadsheet. I don't know how knowledgeable you are, but I mean, there are things that you just have to fill in the blanks. There are a bunch of things available online that you can do. And then you present to the administration. It's very important. Like if you are not included in the meetings, because as I said, a lot of churches don't give too much attention to children's ministry. Ask the pastor that you would like to participate in meetings. Start relating to people that are from the board of the church. Start selling your ideas. It's very important for them to see that you don't care only about children's ministry, but the overall smooth administration of the church. They value that a lot. And as anything else in life, it's all about politics and how you sell your idea, how you interact with people, you know. It's also very important as a manager to do efficient meetings. Keep on point, develop an agenda, keep on schedule, ask anybody that will participate if they want to include anything on the agenda. Meetings are not the time to talk about personal things in life or anything. So be professional, be very straightforward on what has to be discussed. Nobody likes to spend a lot of time in meetings. And for us that work, you know, most of the meetings are a waste of time. So let's not make our meetings a waste of time, but very productive and efficient. But bottom line, when talking about events, budget, meetings, find ways always as a manager to use your resources efficiently, effectively, and economically. Of course, we want to save as much as possible for the church. But you know, and this is not impossible. Dollar store, it's my store. Unfortunately, in Zoom, I cannot do training and using, but everything I do, my trainings, I buy stuff from the dollar store. So you can do a lot of things and be economic. So it's just a question. And if you don't have those skills here listed, very easy to develop. A lot of training online, a lot of ways that you, as the 3-year-old would say, Google it. Keep in mind and never forget, God has given each of you a gift from his great variety of spiritual gifts. Use them well to do what? To serve one another. So let's serve one another. And most of all, let's serve our children, because trust me, guys, they need us. Okay, I did as short as I could to have time for questions. So I'm all yours.
I had a quick question.
Yes.
Is there a list anywhere that tells us specific key points that children should know or that they should have learned before they move out of each level? Like, say for primary, I know that there was one teacher that had it in mind that she wanted them to know the books of the Bible. And I know we say that a lot of times the kids get to an older age and they haven't learned all of these things. So I'm wondering if there's like a list of specific key points that they should learn, say, before they leave primary or before they leave juniors or something.
Advented Source, it's very good in materials that you can find anything that you want, they have there. So you can call Advented Source or go on their website and say, I need this, do you have? They do have. They do have what we are supposed to teach. I don't have out of the back of my mind, but I know they do have. They even have, if you want, job descriptions for each person you want to include in your team. They have everything you can possibly imagine, and it's not expensive. It's like $2, you know. And some of them, they even send you electronically now because they are automatizing everything. So they do have Advented Source.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
I missed a part of the presentation. Will there be like PDF of the PowerPoint, or maybe will this be shared with the rest so I can watch them?
Yes, I will send the handouts next week. It's because normally when I do Zoom, I don't do handouts because it's Zoom. But I can send the handouts to Gloria Mar, and then she can send to you. Make sure she has the email.
I will put my email on the chat.
Yeah. Make sure she has it, because I think when we finish, the chat disappears. So.
Oh yeah, she has it. She has it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I will tell her to send to everybody that attended the seminar.
Yes. Yeah. No, very, very, very. Like I said, I didn't hear everything, but it was very nice what I heard, and I also love the dollar store. And I'm always, if you go on like FreeCycle or Nextdoor or Craigslist, people many times they offer free craft supplies, you know. For example, a neighbor offered, she had a huge, like humongous roll of brown craft paper, you know. And
that's good.
I know those things, I know that they are, I mean, if I have to go buy it, they're expensive, you know. So, and I happily went to their house and I told them, I'm going to use this for my kids at church, you know. They can trace themselves. You can do big pictures. I mean, you name it, you know, we can think of many things and things like that. So be attentive to things like that. It happens to me many times. Another woman, she worked in a veterinary clinic, and they did the printing of the paws, you know, on the clay. And she stopped doing that, and she has 6 packets of clay unopened. And she's like, can anybody use this? And we did an ornament, Christmas ornament craft for the kids.
That's awesome.
So things like that.
Really good. And you know what else? But some stores like Michael's, like craft stores, a lot of stores you go by, if you have the ID of your church, they give discounts for religious organizations too.
Yeah, and many of them give for free. I got supplies for the church for free because they say these items, X items, are free with the tax ID of the church.
Wow, nice, nice.
So
very
it's just,
nice, very nice.
So here and there, little here, little there, you know, it could go a long while, you know. So
no, that's very good. That is very good. Any other questions?
I don't have a question per se, but I was intrigued with the presentation. The last part that you presented, prior, plan, recruit, prepare, debrief. I have written down prior, mindset, communication, and focus, and also harness talent. So it just play right back in. And there's the app by the name of Canva.
Canva is very good, yes.
Yeah, you can use it to be creative in the for the kindergartens and stuff.
I use Canvas for the presentation.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
if you are an educator, you can get professional Canva for free.
Or if you want, it's like $10 a month. It's not that bad. Because I have the profession, I'm not an educator. I mean, I could be, because with a master's, they can consider you, but my daughter likes to use too. So it's $9.99 a month for the professional. But if you can get for free, it's better.
Yeah, it's free. You can get it, you can have it for free.
That's very good. It's a very good tool. Yeah.
I use Canva every day, so I know that.
Thanks for sharing. That's a very good tip. Very good. Anybody else? I don't want to hold anybody. You're free to, I would like to pray before we go.
I have a question.
You can pray at the beginning, but I would like to pray at the end. Yes, please.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I caught the last hour of your presentation. I thought it was very, very good.
Thank you.
And I want to see more of that, the inspirational video. It was by J.B. Kellogg. What was the one you had sent? You played that quick video you played.
The first one, in the Sabbath school, or the second?
No, I got the last hour.
The last one was, I don't have the website in mind. But I can include in the handout.
Okay.
Please,
yes.
That'd be great.
Please, I would love that too.
Okay, yeah, it will be on the handout. Thank you. I'll make sure I include on the handout. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anybody? No? Does anybody want to pray so we can close? Nobody
I can pray.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, gracious Father, we thank you, Lord. Thank you for Miss Robin for being available and making herself available to train us up, and so we can go out, Lord, and train your children in your way and guide them and teach them about you and share your love for them so they can share to their friends as well. Father God, let's look to you. Let us look to you first and seek you first as we go out to do our training and our teaching in church. But most of all, Lord, let's seek your guidance and seek what you want us to do. Let your will be done in us, Father God. We thank you, Lord. Be with us today and through the week, Lord. Guide us, protect us, but always let us seek you in everything we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, sir. Very good. If anybody wants to stay and keep talking or asking, I'm available. So, but feel free if you need to go. It was nice being able to meet with you and interact with you. I thank you for participating, and I will see you next time. But if anybody wants to stay, I'm available.
All right, so I just need to give you the name of the winners so you can have them. For the gift you said you're gonna send.
Oh yes, please. Who won the thing so she can send the gifts?
Melia and Ken, Kamala and Abiola Harris. So that's 3 persons you said should give.
But can you keep the names, and then because Jerry should send materials for you from the NAD so you can give to your conference. He said that he was gonna send, but I will double check with him.
Okay, I have the names written down.
Yes, and then I will make sure Jerry sends some materials to be given away, and then you do as you please. Because normally in person, I let them pick what they want. I have several, and then they pick what they want. But then based on what Jerry sends to you, I will, you decide what to do.
Okay. All right.
He didn't send, you didn't get anything?
No.
Okay, I'll make sure that he sent some for you. And then yes,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I had a question. We had a small group in Hartford, the beginning, and we had a small group to the kids is mixed the different years, and I have a little struggle for looking the chapters because it's different years, and I don't have material that appropriate because it's different years.
What are the age range?
I have the 4 years old, 11 years old, 9 years old together. It's 6 kids, different years. So I have some struggle because I need to look in some chapters for the same group and don't pay me attention because, you know, it's so different years and I need some help for looking something appropriate for each one.
I understand. Get the team for the week, for the Sabbath, because like for the 4-year-old, you were gonna repeat most of the times. But since there are different kids, different ages, make the story time fun. Use the older kids to do skits or to dress like characters. They can act on the story so they don't get bored. And then you can tell the story in a way that the 4-year-old will understand. You know what I mean? These are just little kids. And then for the crafts, you can do crafts, age-appropriate crafts. Like you have to make a differentiation because of the development level. On songs, you can do songs with movement and have the older kids do the movement so that the younger ones can copy them. So you involve the older kids so they don't get bored, but they are still learning about it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, and the material really, you use whatever is the lesson for the week and you go
We have a lot of material, really.
You can go to the gracelink.net. They have things you can print.
Okay.
You just need to print. For the olders, they have PowerPoints. For example, you can have a PowerPoint for the week, the lesson for the week, and the older kid can present, or the older kids can read the PowerPoint to the youngers. They like that. There are a lot of material available for the Sabbath School at gracelink.net.
Pinterest is a great resource too, Pinterest.
Pinterest is my life too.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Anybody else?
Yes, I have a question. I missed the beginning, like I said before, but what conference are you from?
I am from Chesapeake Conference. I live in Maryland. I live very close to the General Conference, but I am here representing the North American Division.
Excellent, well done.
Oh, thank you.
You said you're from Brazil, what part?
I am from here, but I grew up in Sao Paulo.
Oh, Sao Paulo, okay.
Yes.
I've been there, I've been to Sao Paulo, very
really?
nice. Yeah, very nice area. I went to a couple of different churches down there when I was down there. I have some friends still in the area, so.
Oh, really?
Obrigada.
Obrigado, because you are a man.
Oh, I thought I said it to you because, hey, all right, so,
Because
okay,
obrigada, I say obrigada because I'm a woman. My husband always confuses the A and O too, so it's normal. That's okay. I get
confused too.
My grandfather was a pastor. I don't know if you heard when I said that. And then when he was he worked for 42 years for the church. And he was one of the few pastors that were like multilingual. And everybody
He's
from the
Brazilian.
used to go to Brazil, and he would travel with them through Latin America, South America to translate the sermons.
Yeah.
So I grew up receiving a lot of, you know, international people, if you will, in my house.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we were down in Sao Paulo, my son found out that he loves pão de queijo.
Ah, pão de queijo. Yeah, my daughter too.
Yeah.
And everybody that comes here, or if I have some event, oh, can you bring pão de queijo?
Yes, yes.
Well, I always went to one church. I always was part of the church is called Moema.
I don't remember the name of the churches we went to, but they were in the area of Sao Paulo. I know there's like 20 churches there or something like that, isn't there?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
I lived in the city of Sao Paulo, but we also have churches surrounding the you know, suburbs, other cities, but it's still from the state. They have Sao Paulo state, but they have Sao Paulo city as well.
Yeah, I have friends down there. They keep on saying they want me to come back and visit, and I said, "Oh, that's a lot of planning and cost to go back down." But
they love to receive people from outside, and a lot of people there understand English, but they always have people to translate, and they love to receive to listen to people with different experience. Brazilians are very open for international incomers, you know.
Yeah, the way we found out about Brazil is primarily because our babysitter, who was from Indonesia, she married a Brazilian. They're both going to school here in Massachusetts to get their master's degree.
That's awesome.
So we're still very good friends with them. And then also a good friend of mine, a colleague of mine, he married a Brazilian lady too. So I have a lot of Brazilian connections, wonderful people.
Well, on wonderful beaches.
Yes.
8,000 kilometers of a coast.
Wow.
Beaches. Yeah, very nice beaches.
Yeah, I remember going to a place, I think it was called Santos, the beach there.
Santos, yes.
Yeah, very nice there too.
My dad was born in Santos.
The sand is hot, but the water was warm.
Yeah, we don't, listen, one thing I don't like here is the cold water. It's always cold, even in the summer, it's cold, because in Brazil, it's always warm, because we have tropical weather. So here, I always think that the water is too cold.
Well, you should come to Massachusetts and really experience cold water.
It's one place I want to go. I want to go to Massachusetts. I've never been there.
You should. I mean, I grew up.
Maybe next time we do the training in person.
That's it. I like that. I grew up in Massachusetts along the water, and I was always out on the ocean all summer long, going to the beach there. And even in the hottest day of the summer, you could be in the water too long that your lips would turn blue. And
I believe you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's very cold. Massachusetts is only on the summer, you know.
Yes. Yes.
So that's very nice. That's very nice.
In
we
the
hope
fall
to see you.
Come in the fall to see the colors.
Oh,
yes.
gosh, you know, it's my favorite season. I love the fall.
Not only in the summer, okay? Come in the fall too.
Okay, well, talk to your conference. We can set up another training, and I will gladly go.
I will love that. Yes.
It will be nice, because then we can meet in person.
So you are like the coordinator, exactly. I missed the first part. So you are the coordinator for the North American division?
No, I'm a trainer. I'm just a volunteer, and they asked me to provide training in different subjects throughout Canada, United States.
No, very good, very good.
Yeah. And then now some Brazilian churches are also starting
my grandfather
Portuguese. Say again?
My grandfather was a pastor too.
Oh, so really?
I can relate to that. And in a way, I grew up knowing many of these things, but I know for a fact that it's not the case for everybody, obviously. So it's very nice when this training happens. So I really thank you for your time. And it's very nice when this happens, because we enrich on each other, we learn new things. You know, this is it's great. It's a win-win situation. We're all going to the same place. We're all the same objectives.
No, and you know, even though you can be in church all your life, but then you realize when you are in the situation that you don't have all the ideas. So listening to other people and different perspectives can add on to the work you can do. So that's what I keep saying. We don't compete with each other. We should work together for the same objective, you know.
And then guys, we want our kids' generation to grow. You know, we want. I want my kids to have. When the time comes, I don't know, to prepare, when the time comes to choose a wife or something, I want him to have, you know, we know all these people and these people have the same faith as you, you know, for example.
Exactly.
So like to build on each other and to make each Sabbath school, each church strong and happy. It's just like we're all going, it's great. It's a win-win situation. It's
exactly. And then everything can be improved together, because I mean, more heads work together, heads working together work better than one head, you know. So
and then, you know, we may get a little weak, the other person strengthens us. It's very good.
My cousin that I used as an example in New Jersey, she was very discouraged when we talked about her class, because she was not getting support from her director and say again?
No, I was like agreeing, sorry.
So we talked, and she really, you know, it energized her just talking. And then she's like, oh, you know, I have new ideas and so on. I said, that's what you need. You need people to support each other and really encourage and energize. Sometimes we need somebody to, the little rabbit, energize us, you know.
Robin.
So guys, it was really nice talking to you. I hope we can see each other soon in person, if not in heaven, for sure.
Before you go, Robin, is it possible you can drop your number in the chat so we
Sure. I can put in I will put my email and my phone number on my handout.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right. God bless and thank you for that awesome presentation.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I'm just listening, because if I close, I cannot see the chat, so.